this video, and I'm not really for sure who to make this video to, because anyway, I'm gonna play this here, and it's I really respect this dude. At least he's honest, and you'll recognize him. YouTube. I'm sure he's on TikTok and stuff. My dad was a career criminal. He gave me thoughts, ideas, knowledge I didn't know or understand. You just remember your dad tell you, don't put your hand there. That kind of stuff. How to be, uh, or how to conduct yourself in that world. How to do penitentiary stuff. And as 1 to 10 year old, I didn't have a clue. I don't know. After I got out of the Air Force, where everything and I was and who I was, society itself, I had no use for y'all. Particularly. My neighbor across the street, Jeff, I had an accident, crippled me up. I wouldn't go to the VA hospital because of that time period and everything. Casablanca Lane, Sacramento, California. Jeff saw what I was going through, and I was going to college at American River College. And when you can't complete your course, thing, they cut off your VA payment, to go to college. $410 or something like that. 400 and some dollars a month. Oh, dude. So I did everything I could to get back to that school, which was only like 2 miles away. He had a Honda 3B60 or CBC, whatever that thing was. I ain't a big Honda fan. And he goes, hey, because I could sit on a bike and I only had to go first gear and operate, my hands were good. I would go to the college, park the bike. I didn't know the bike was registered. I didn't know it was stolen. It didn't, that got me to the school and I could complete my classes. And that was extreme, dude. That was extreme. In that period of time, I was still sort of not really learning how to walk, but, get my body to walk again. And he took a liking to me, I suppose. And we had a couple experiences, and he saw me. Because I ain't never had to aspire to be something else. When I rode with people and stuff, I've always been just myself. When I've done business, I've just always been myself. Truthful, honest, as far as what you're getting here. I ain't trying to pretend to be nobody but me. So he would take me up to Willits, Garberville, Humboldt, Mendocino County. You figure 1983, let's go that years. If you knew what was happening in California, up in that area, marijuana was being grown, was being controlled by somebody. I mean, it was on the news. They would get raided up there and nobody goes to jail. Bah. Well, his Uncle Jimmy lived outside of Willits. And we go visit it on a country road, a mountain road, and go out there, and he had a dog named Buck. The big terrier, I actually owned one. It'll come to mind, but I got a full story here to tell. Buck would come back with a rattlesnake in his mouth. I'd be, shit! Uncle Jimmy, he hunts him. It's the big wiry terrier. Anyway, Uncle Jimmy, my friend Jeff, he was my friend. Career criminals, dude. They were from West Dallas, Texas. I met his Uncle Cecil. We drove down to L.A. I was in the back of Jeff's truck, him and his wife and his sister, Lynn, and their child. And so Jeff and I were pretty tight. We went up to see Uncle Jimmy, and Jeff was talking to his uncle about something. And he wanted to go see, Jeff did, some people up on the, another road and up on the mountain. And Uncle Jimmy was telling him, dude, probably not a good idea because they're going to have people out there with weapons on the road and they're going to stop you. And Jeff said, oh, yeah, because they're harvesting. Or doing bit, I don't know, but, it's that time period in the world. Sure enough, that's what happened twice. I mean, as we're going up, we got challenged. They knew who Jeff was. My dad raised me to keep my mouth shut, listen more than and things. I took it all in. Jeff told me we're gonna go up here. He didn't say nothing about no motorcycle club or nobody's what. It's people's. It ain't, So he says, you're going to see young ladies scantily clad and everything, but if you look at them like, lustfully or make comments, somebody going to pick that up. And, dude, I go, oh, no. And he already knew me. My family's precious. When I stepped into the lifestyle, the first thing I told the people that I would answer to was, my wife and daughter, no disrespect, I won't, it's a line drawn in the sand. My family's, separate. And they are the same. We were good. And they were, oh, dude, get up there. Well, we made 3, 4, 5 trips. I'll say that through the years. Couple years. And the first trip up there was midday evening, and it's like a commune. I say hippie commune, but they ain't no hippies. There'd be, somebody over here in the shed working on a motorcycle, and some people over here doing things, and oh man, and just way cool. Well, come to find out, they were affiliated, known who they were, motorcycle enthusiast stuff. Because nobody, I know I've seen jackets, like maybe hanging over there, but nobody was wearing MC jackets, not in town, nowhere. Like you see on Anarchy and stuff. First time I saw that show, I go, nah, that's not. You go do evil and you're wearing your colors? Oh, come on. I mean, crime, whatever. Yeah, come on. It's a movie. But I got to know those people really good as far as because they wanted to know who I was. They talk to you just like regular people. And man, they were all, not all, most of them were veterans. So we had that going. You know what I'm saying? And not like a boasting thing, but a lot of them were veterans. Jeff was too. Jeff was a Navy diver. So anyway, I struck up a commonship with him, and they faded away. There's stories in between and everything I'm going to leave out. So we bought a house in Orangevale, California. 91. I was living in California, or Orangevale, just a block and a half from where I bought the house. I was living on Shirley Way, and I would walk to Greenback, And right around the corner was called Poro Joe's. And it was what you call biker bar. But it's just local people. Everyday people rode in and stuff. I didn't have a motorcycle right then. I had a daughter. Dude, she wanted clothes, food, a decent roof over her house. So I didn't have a motorcycle. Excuse me. But I got to know people there. My neighbor across the street, Steve, he worked for James Auto Wreckers, so he was connected up to people, if you know what I'm saying. Right next to him was Steve Jason, who was directly connected up as such. Philip Pony was Steve Jason's sister-in-law. Philip Pony would show up and the bunches and things. And then I worked at Mel's Tire and people knew me and that rode in or had the car and rolled. Hey, Bobby, what you doing here? I gotta have a job. Oh. My first felony, I got arrested at receiving stolen parts, cars. That's what my dad went to prison for. So, and he's asking, take off your shirt, Lucy. My dad taught me, don't get no tattoos, because in his time, that's an identify ID. In other words, you got a butterfly on your left arm, boom, that's John Doe bound. Yeah, cuffing. Back in my dad's day. So I never went for tattoos, and I never went for something I ever wanted on my life, like da-da-da. Nah. So anyway, he goes, if you just give up, and he knew who I wouldn't give up Lenny. It doesn't matter now. Lenny and Russell, but Russell wasn't involved. And he's telling me, this is the first I heard of it. We know you're a known associate. And I went, associate of what? The hell are you talking about? And he tells me. And I went, oh, I didn't know that. But most of the close friends I've ever had, like I could tell you, that's a partner. They have, like, I want to send this video if I can to, I can't name his name because, y'all. But I've been in the life, and I did well with it because my dad, he told me the parameters, how to conduct myself. Dude, 3, 4, 5 years into this, and I got to thinking, how did you make that move? How did you know to think that out proper? And I got to thinking, oh, dude, I remember my dad saying something like that. Then I started thinking, oh, shit. Yeah. All right. Almost everybody I knew or known has done, not me. Well, a little bit, but not like what I'm talking about as far as penitentiary or nothing. No. Dude, I look back and I say God watched over me, as far as stuff, because I stepped out into places I would like snatch you up and go, don't roll that dice. My prints got made twice. First time I had a 50-50 excuse as far as, I've been there before. These are all dealing with violence, by the way. Not selling drugs. I've never been busted for selling or whatever drugs. I've never had a DUI. No domestic violence. No Not the normal shit that gets tweakers and partiers and, busted or, known. Never been to the clubhouse on purpose. Never had a reason to. You know what I'm saying? If you went near that clubhouse, you're going to get known. I mean, click, 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 click. In my mind, got known anyway. I just been around too many people. Orangevale. For my friend on Kitty Hawk. He don't live there no more. For my dearest, 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 dearest friend. He told me, he said, Bobby, now they're taking doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs. Because I'd seen somebody wear, dressed really nice and everything, riding on it. And he had colors. And I didn't recall what it wasn't, And I told my friend about it, and he goes, this is in the 90s or early 2000s. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whew. That particular MC brought, and this is kind of a history fact, methamphetamine to Central California, to the world. Wow. In that time period, that's nothing I dealt with. I've always been a pot dude. Pot's my thing, dude, But the people that made money and that kind of thing, Orangevale, that world. Oh, wow. You can't walk in that world without knowing where you're at and everything. I worked for Mel Carter, who was one of the lowest lowlifes in Orangevale, right there on Main Street, Mel's Tire, right next to the boardwalk. If I get this video to my brother, he'll understand. So I worked for Mel. I was way overqualified as a mechanic, but I needed the money. You know what I mean? My daughter wanted clothes, food, decent house, all those needy things. So anyway, Mel's son come to me one day. And dude, I am not a person you're going to say, oh my God, look at there's Bobby and, those people that are hanging with him. But they'd show up. And Kenny knew enough, I guess, to recognize they knew me and stuff. But it was just, hey, how you doing? Da-da-da, shake hands. And what y'all up to today? And he goes, look, dude. I fucked up. This is a true story. I go, what's going on, Kenny? He goes, look, my cousin took me to this house, and as soon as we walked in, I knew something was wrong, because people that were there were looking at me, and da-da-da-da, and I said, what are you talking about? And he said, well, Tony was there. And I thought, ooh. Wow. Okay. I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck's this going? He goes, yeah, they were upset. And da-da-da-da. And make a long story short, they gave him he's telling, he shot it. He shoots up his crank. He said I'm pretty sure they gave me a hot shot because I passed out. And when I woke up, da-da-da, and he said, I think Philip and them, fucking think. And I said, what the fuck are you talking about? What's going on? He said, this is what happened. And when I woke up, man, and I told my cousin, and I'm going, oh, fuck. He thinks Philip and them want him dead. because he shouldn't have been there. He's telling me he thinks it's a place they held stuff. You know, I'm just listening. I ain't asking fucking questions. And I said, well, what is it you want me? Why are you telling me this story? And he says, look, can you speak to him or somebody? And I said, whoa, fuck, Kenny. Speak to him about what, dude? What are you talking about? He goes, look, I'm pretty scared. You know what I'm saying? I think I fucked up. I'd just like to tell him that I fucked up. My cousin took me there. I don't know. And, you know, he was scared for his fucking life. And I go, look, Kenny, I ain't speaking for you, dude. I don't even know why I would want to bring this to, you know. Philip and I aren't pals or nothing like that. That world is never about that particular thing. And he goes, oh, dude. And I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to speak for you. I'm not going to vouch for you. You know that, right? Let me give this some thought. Maybe I'll pass this message on to you. I don't know if I can or not, because I'm not going to go fucking seek him out and say, hey, you know, fucked up. That ain't my problem, dude. You fucked up. You did. If they want you dead, or want you harmed, however you want to look at it, because he was in fear. All right. I'll just let that go. Nothing. He lived. Well, past that my time period anyway. But he come to me thinking that I had some kind of influence, and nah, that ain't really how that world works, dude. That isn't. He was desperate is what it was. He knew those people had capabilities. Those people would put him in the ground. You never hear about it. And he was just, you know, hey, here's somebody. But dude, I don't know where I want to take this. Here it is, 22 minutes. I probably let it go. I survived that time period without having to go to the state pen things. Been to county jail more than a few, more than a damn old city jail and the new city jail. One of the neatest stories I could tell you about, it was my felony arrest. They came to my shop and, you know, arrested me and and I gave all my possessions to this guy on Kitty Hawk. And the cop asked me, he says, you want to do that? And I said, oh, yeah. I mean, my wallet, my ring, everything, you know, because they take your property. I had nothing to give. So, yeah. Yeah. Gave my property to him, and then processed, was getting ready to go to the shower. The next door would be your, you know, you take clothes and you get your shower, you know, your orange. Remember, I think they were orange jumpsuits. I never had to wear one. I'm sitting there, and it's a large room, and I hear two people talking. You know, people are. And this one guy's talking about, you know, what they experienced or something. You know, and there ain't nothing else to do but listen to other people gabber. And they ran the car into the ditch and scooped up, and they're telling each other, you know, like, and he says something, and he quotes a phone number. And I went, I know that phone number. It was Steve Jason on the corner. Remember I talked about Steve Jason, Philip Poning, and then just many others. And my ears picked up and went right to him as far as what. And he saw me. Dude, if you don't want nobody's attention, don't be looking at him in the eye. And I'm very good about looking you in the eye. I don't have a problem. So I'm looking at him, and he steps up, and he comes walking to me, and I'm looking at him. How you doing? He goes, hey, partner. And I said, yeah. And I said the phone number right back to him, and he looks at me, and I go, yeah. He sits down and talks to me. He introduces himself to Kenny. Hey, I'm Kenny. I'm Bobby. How you doing? Orangevale. I think he said North Highlands. I think. I don't remember. Anyway, he's telling me, and I go, Kenny. And this phone number, my friend from Kitty Hawk had just told me 2 or 3 days earlier. Dude, this guy came over, tuned my bike. Dude, it's the best it's ever ran. You ought to hear this little thing. I go, right on, right on. So I'm sitting in jail. This guy introduced his name, Kenny, and it ringed on me, Kenny, and that phone number. And I go, Jason? And he goes, yeah. And I said, you don't by no chance a guy named Robbie, do you? He goes, LaFavor? You're Kenny? Kenny's dad was in prison at the time, so, I mean, we all... I was like, oh my God, how you doing, dude? So I'm sitting there just like old home week. I don't know this dude, but, you know, I know who he is and stuff. And, they call everybody to get up. But they make me, you know, sit down. You ain't being processed now. Make a long story short, I go 3 more cells, and then I'm in the OR, because they're telling me, because I'm asking them, well, where are we going, people? And they go, well, you got OR'd. And I went, right on. And so, like 2, 3 in the morning, I think that's the old jail. The old jail, Sacramento. And I skip out the door, and I'm thinking, well, I got to find my way home. Right across the street is Robbie and my old lady waiting. Car running and everything. I climbed in the back. I'm patting them all. And I said, they said they went to a bail bondsman and said, no, he's going to get OR, da da da. I said, Robbie. Kenny. And I'm telling him, dude, there's a brotherhood there. Yeah. Much like this. Much like this. That's what this, you know, the video's already long, but this
themselves seamlessly into the lifestyle that you have to live to be able to conduct yourself properly in prison. They got the structure and routine part down. They got the respect part down. They have the confidence part down. Like, they just go with...
Uh-oh.
And convicts, I've never met a veteran that was an inmate. They are always convict material right out the gate. And a lot of them end up joining and even running prison gangs. But that's another video that we can do if you guys are interested. Let me know in the comments. This video is just going to be talking about my personal life experience from kicking it with veterans that I knew when I was in prison. These were dudes that I loved. These were dudes that I kicked it with. So this is what we're doing today. I hope everybody's already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed,
I'll let it go. You should listen to the rest of it. When you walk among men, grown-ups, it has to be of respect. And if you're a punk, you lie to people and they just, you know, you're deceiving them, you're going to come right out. It's going to show out. And they know they can't trust you. Thieves even. You know a thief. He'll steal from you. You know, but you know that. So there's a confidence in it. People that play otherwise, you know, want to hide or, you know, be something they're not. dude, you're going to pay some dues. You're going to pay some dues and you'll probably change. Yeah. That's all I've ever been is who I am. I never tried to play a Jeff or my dad or what. I never could see that as something attainable. You know what I'm saying? Not when you're walking with people who I walked with. You know? Oh, dude. From the plains of Kansas, I know it's 30 minutes. I don't know how this will, I don't think I'll be able, maybe two different, or three. Let's go that. All right. Done well. Done many. Little troubled. Little troubled in my life. Little bit.